Do you really need a UV flashlight? Well, I think you do. Let me tell you why. Hey, what's up YouTube? Dan the Fix-It Man. Got another quick video here for you. This company SOFIRN just sent me their UV flashlight here. This is the SF16 in exchange for a quick little unboxing and review video. And I really wasn't looking for a UV light, but as I started looking into it, I thought, man, this is really something that I'm sure I could use, not only for fun, but even some practical uses around the home. So let's open it up and take a look. Got a little readme tag, and it says we've got a little insulation piece in between the battery and the switch. So let's go ahead and open that up and take it out. Right here. Now there's a little warning label here, or a caution label, and I'm going to have to get out my phone to read it. It says here, UV radiation hazard, avoid eye and skin exposure, wear proper eye and skin protection. UV radiation is present when light is on, do not look directly into the light. To charge this, you just peel back this little cover, and it comes with a little charging cable here. This looks like it's just a USB-C, and we'll get that plugged in, and let's go get this charged up. All right, now that this is all charged up, just make sure that you close that so that it will stay waterproof, or it maintains that IPX waterproof rating. Now, UV light is basically electromagnetic radiation, and it's transmitted in the form of waves. The wavelength of UV light is typically between 100 and 400 nanometers. The SOFIRN SF16 operates at a wavelength of 365 nanometers. Now, this also has a little attached filter lens that will filter out visible light and make the ultraviolet light more pure. The light body on this is 1 inch in diameter, and it's 4.8 inches long and weighs only 2.4 ounces. There are 3 settings on this: low, medium, and high. Now, when I turn this on, it's just a little tail cap button that you press. By the way, this is a really nice aluminum alloy body. It seems to be really strong, and this does have the IPX8 waterproof rating. But if we turn this on just with one click, there you can see that that's at the highest setting, and then you just do a little tap on the back that will go low, medium, and high. And then you can just click it to turn it off. It also has a nice little clip right here. You can use this clip to clip it on a belt or your shirt pocket or anything like that as well. Also wanted to mention, when you turn it on, it will tell you the battery level or indicator for the first 5 seconds, and then this will shut off. So solid green means that we have 75 to 100% charge. If it's flashing green, that means 50 to 75% charge. Solid red, that means 25 to 50, and flashing red means 0 to 25 or less than 25, and it's time to charge it. And when you're charging it, this will be red when it's charging and green when it's fully charged. Now, one of the things that a UV light would be useful for would be to detect counterfeit money. US currency has a strip on the inside which will show up with UV light. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the light so that this will show up a little bit better. Now right there you can see in this $100 bill that this is glowing, kind of a reddish pink. Don't know how well that's showing up on camera, but it's also on the other side. Let's take a look at a $20 bill here. There you go, another UV strip on the left side of the bill. Very visible, like a greenish yellow. This also says 20. Testing for the UV strips is a great way to detect a bill that's been bleached and reprinted with a larger currency, because the UV strip is going to say the actual amount of currency for that particular bill. This will also work on several other countries' currencies. A lot of them will have security features that also will glow under a UV light, and not just currency, but also important documents. Your driver's license, for example, will also have some features that will glow under the UV light, and same with a passport. So it's just a very handy thing to have. I mean, even if you were a bouncer and you needed to check someone's ID, if you had a UV light, it would be a great way to find or spot a fake ID as well. Now, a UV light would also be very useful in detecting pet stains. That's going to glow very bright under a UV light. And you can take this into a hotel room if you dare, just to inspect and see how clean it is. I also do a lot of surfboard repair, and a lot of the resins, especially the new epoxy resins, are UV cure. So if you're needing to fix a surfboard or a ding on a surfboard and it's at night and you want to get it ready for the next day of surfing, you can go ahead and perform the repair. Then you can just turn on this UV light and run that over the resin, and that will cause it to harden and cure. Now, a UV light is also very handy in the automotive industry, because there are a lot of UV dyes or fluorescent leak detection type of agents that you can add to your air conditioning system. And when you charge an AC, if it's got a leak or a slow leak, if you use the UV dye or the fluorescent leak detection dye, that will light up really well with this. I've I've used that in the past. It works great. You can also buy that leak detection type of dye and add it or pour it straight into your crankcase, and that can really help you find an oil leak as well. You can also add that to your power steering pump and or your transmission. I'm sure that this would really come in handy to help find that. But another thing that I thought that this would come in handy for are for these sockets. Astro Tools sent me their 43-piece Hi-vis glowing socket set, and I can't tell you how many sockets I've lost, but check this out. If you drop something like this, these are Hi-vis and these will glow. Let's go ahead and turn off the lights. And look how bright those are. If you're working on a car at night and you drop one of these, you know, especially that little 10mm socket, which are known to disappear, that really shines very bright under this UV light. Now, if you turn it off, these are not glow in the dark, so that you can't see that right now, but if you just turn that UV light back on, look how bright those are. Pretty cool. Now you can also write stuff out in highlighter. You can see this doesn't show up very well. Highlighter is kind of faint on this blank white page, but if you write something out in a highlighter or even some other things like Vaseline, you can write a secret message. But let's turn off the light and then use the UV light and see if we can see what that says. I just wrote that out in highlighter, and if I turn the light back on, it's really kind of faint. It's really hard to read that. So if you wrote this, you know, depending on what surface you write something on, but if we turn off that light again, you can see the secret message right there. So that's kind of neat. You could even use this for scorpion hunting. Scorpions, like the Arizona bark scorpion, will glow very bright under a UV light. And finally, this right here. So these are just little plastic glow-in-the-dark bugs. But I was just thinking that would be kind of a fun game to scatter these out in the lawn or use something like this to go hunting for them. So let's turn off the light and see if they show up. So they're not really showing up here. Of course, they're also not charged very well because they've not been outside. But if we turn on the UV light, not only do they show up very bright here with the UV, but this UV flashlight is also charging them. You can see that they're absorbing the radiation here that's emitted from this light, and now they're going to glow in the dark much better. You could also use this light to charge glow-in-the-dark objects. For example, if you're playing Frisbee with a glow-in-the-dark Frisbee, you can use this light to charge it up. So you can see just charging them up with this UV light here, and then if I turn it off, they're still faintly glowing there because they are the glow-in-the-dark type of plastic. Kind of a fun little game you can play with the kids. Hide these and give them this light and let them go find it. Just make sure you heed that caution right there. Don't shine this in someone's eyes or anything like that. But definitely a handy little tool. I can see how this would come in very handy, not only around the house, but working on cars as well. That's pretty much it. That's about all I can think of. I did want to say thanks to the company SOFIRN for sending this to me in exchange for this quick little unboxing and review. I hope you liked the video. Please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you don't mind. That does help me out. I'll get a link in the description where you can pick up this exact same light as well. Thanks so much for watching, and good luck.